Surprisingly, new data and science is now revealing that the jabbed is more lethal than the unjabbed. Isn't this appalling? The chief medical advisor to the world, might I add, a physician, scientist, and immunologist with more than 50 years dedicated to the medical profession, possessing many distinguished awards in the field of research health science, is now realizing this fact that was known from the offset of this experiment. Inexcusable, Mr. Advisor. Serving as the director of National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases, NIAID, and chief medical advisor to the U.S. government. His extensive research portfolios oversee prevention, diagnosis, and treatment of established infectious diseases such as HIV and AIDS, respiratory infections, diarrheal diseases, tuberculosis, and malaria, as well as emerging diseases such as Ebola and Zika. NIAID also supports the research on transplantation and immune-related illnesses, including autoimmune disorders, asthma, and allergies. This well-learned and indomitable doctor has a fiscal budget of $6.1 billion for just this year, 2021. Now, tell me, humanity, does this sound like someone who is incapable of finding out the odds? Inexcusable. Let common sense prevail. When truth seekers and whistleblowers make us aware of what is going on this planet, they are referred to as conspiracy theorists, the origin of which means to agree or plot. Oxford language definition of conspire: make secret plans jointly to commit an unlawful or harmful act. Thanks to the universe, our eyes have seen the glory. Shit has hit the fan, and we can distinctly smell who are the true plotters and conspirators. The truth is indeed painful, but understandable? Hell no. You and all other trolls on this plane who think that it's okay for innocent people to take not one, not two, not three little jabs and slowly fade away into oblivion, karma is bloody real. Humanity, open your eyes and ears. Stay free. Stay healthy.
What you want? What you want? She want it. She want it. She said she want it. Oh yeah. What you want? She said she want it.
Science, new data showing that even those who are vaccinated can carry the virus with them. They can be contagious. This seems to contradict what we've been told, that once you get vaccinated, you're protected.
Well, in some respects, yes, but what's changed, Judy, is the virus has changed. So when you have vaccinated people who might have a breakthrough infection, and we know now as a fact, as a scientific fact, that they can transmit the virus to an uninfected person, it's for that reason that the CDC made the change in recommendation and did just as you correctly stated, namely that if you are vaccinated, if you are in an indoor setting, you should still wear a mask.
I hear you saying it is based on science, but to many Americans who are by now pandemic weary, do you understand why they may be looking at this? And we're hearing this from a number of Americans saying, well, why did the CDC change the guidelines 2 months ago? did they jump the gun when they did that? Or they're asking, why weren't they more transparent in the beginning? People are asking these kinds of questions.
Those are reasonable questions, Judy, but I think what we all need to realizing, we are dealing with an evasive type of a virus. It evolves, so the people need to understand it's a painful realization, but it's true.
Thank you for coming, everyone. This is an important issue that we need to talk. The American people have endured terrible things over the past year due to the shutdowns from COVID-19. And I'm very proud to sponsor the Fire Fauci Act, and I'm grateful to my colleagues here for co-sponsoring this bill because the American people deserve answers. The Fire Fauci Act will bring Dr. Fauci's salary down to zero and also will require the Senate to confirm someone to fill his position. You see, Dr. Fauci was not elected by the American people. He was not chosen to guide our economy. He was not chosen to rule over parents and their children's education. But yet, Dr. Fauci very much controlled our lives for the past year. Dr. Fauci, there is a lot of information that needs to come out on him. And as you all have seen with the emails that came out, that he owes the American people a lot of answers, but he also owes the world a lot of answers. These are emails that are very important that you all need to make sure that you're sharing with the public because the public has suffered greatly. Businesses have closed, small businesses have suffered. People have truly been depressed, health consequences. People have died alone in hospitals and nursing homes. Children's education has been delayed by a year. And then we even witness suicide numbers going up, not in just adults, but young people, people in college, children in high school, children in middle school, and even younger. This isn't how our country was set up, and this is not how people should be governed. But yet it's Dr. Fauci, and through his advice that constantly changed, that is how things happened. You see, there's a lot of evidence, and answers need to be found, and answers need to be given. And the American people deserve the answers, and accountability should be held for Dr. Fauci and all of those involved. And if American tax dollars went to the Wuhan lab and indeed funded this virus, which it's very clearly coming out that this is very much a man-made virus in a lab that has sickened the world and caused people to die. You see, people are really tired of there never being anyone held accountable, never anyone being fired. And that's why it's time to fire Dr. Anthony Fauci and give answers to the American people who, I mind you, this is the government that should be serving them, not the other way around.
We've also seen stupid policies. We've seen lockdowns across this country that have shut down small businesses, destroyed restaurants, destroyed bars, destroyed generational businesses. We've seen schools shut down. Tens of millions of children sent home for over a year. Children who are falling behind academically, who are falling behind in reading, who are falling behind in math. And the children being hurt are disproportionately low income. They are disproportionately Hispanic and African American. And nonetheless, the edicts to shut down schools have continued. They were utterly unjustifiable. My view is simple. We should not have mandates. What does that mean? That means no mask mandates. That means no vaccine mandates. Indeed, we've seen throughout this crisis that while COVID-19 can be very, very serious for vulnerable populations, for the very elderly, for those with significant comorbidities, that we've seen the incidence of serious disease with COVID-19 among children is very, very low. And there's no credible demonstration that children are a significant vector for spreading the disease. You know, it was interesting as I was reading through this COVID bill, Section 107, talking about what foreign governments are doing. An awful lot of the description of foreign governments can apply to our own government. So Section 107 of this bill says certain foreign governments have taken measures in response to COVID-19 that violate the human rights of their citizens without clear public health justification. Well, I think you could delete the word foreign in that, because we've seen governments here domestically arbitrarily exercising power as well. This Section 107 also says governments using the COVID-19 pandemic as a pretext for repression have undermined democratic institutions, check. Debilitated institutions for transparency and public integrity, check. Quashed legitimate dissent. I might remind you that Anthony Fauci in those emails asked Facebook to silence anyone who said anything different than the government directive on speech, including if you suggested the origin of the Wuhan virus was actually at Wuhan, China, in a Chinese government lab. And Facebook willingly complied, censored that view. You're not allowed to have that view that this escaped from the government lab. Then, miraculously, a couple of months ago, the administration was forced to recognize, well, yeah, there's actually very significant evidence that the Wuhan virus escaped from a Chinese government lab in Wuhan, and beyond that,
Go to work, get married, have children, act normal, walk on the pavement, watch TV, obey the law, save for your old age, then repeat after me, I am free. Slavery, it works better when you don't tell them.